Your diaphragm does way more than keeping you alive. It's a powerhouse of a muscle that you probably don't even think about. It's a big muscle, umbrella shape, dome shape underneath your rib cage, and it's the primary muscle of respiration. If you didn't know, it's in charge of 70% of your inhale effort at rest, and it just does so much more than just helping us breathe. So I just wanted to share a few facts about the diaphragm because I think it's one of the coolest muscle and one of those that has this like instantaneous potential to change our present moment. So let's just start by saying that obviously your spine pierces your diaphragm. So it's really it plays a crucial role in posture, just because if your diaphragm is contracted, it might force you to slouch. Whether if your diaphragm is supple and pliable, it allows us to simply stand and move better. It has a few holes where some of the most important structures in our bodies pierce. So our lower esophagus pierces our diaphragm, our descending aorta, and our vena cava. So just mentioning those, it also has an indirect effect on digestion and circulation. Osteopathic way of thinking, for example, if somebody comes to me with heart issues or digestive issues, if I can't really go in there and actually get to those structures, I can work through the diaphragm and have an impact in that area or that organ system of their body. I do want to take a little bit of time to actually explain how the diaphragm moves. So this video, just bear with me, we'll have a little bit of diaphragm movement 101, but I think it's super important for all of us to know this. I think they should have taught us this at school. It's just basic information that we have. The last thing that I want to say, that one of another very famous part of the body out there that everybody's talking about is your vagus nerve. Your vagus nerve is like the number one nerve, one of them, controlling or talking or receiving information from your nervous system. And when we work on our diaphragm, it talks to that vagus nerve and it gets us like closer to that rest and digest mood. So if you're really anxious, if you're going through something, if you have trouble sleeping, if you feel like you're always kind of like stressed out, this is one of these practices that you can just have in your toolbox, because it can really again change that moment and put us in this like relaxed state, and again maybe just help us cope with life a little bit better. So here goes a little bit of a movement of the diaphragm, and I'm going to gesture with my hands. You're more than welcome to do this with me, because it does help to kind of have this like visual and understanding how your body moves. So easy. First thing, inhale, your belly expands. Exhale, your belly pulls in. Just do that a few times. Inhale, notice how your belly expands. Exhale, pull in. And if that doesn't happen to you, try to make it happen, because maybe you're over breathing with these neck muscles. Everything up here helps us breathe, but it's secondary muscles of respiration. So primary muscle of respiration, your diaphragm. Inhale, your belly expands. Exhale, your belly pulls in. This movement is facilitated and it's coordinated with your diaphragm. So I'm going to place one hand here mimicking my thoracic diaphragm, and then this hand is going to mimic my pelvic floor, which is sometimes called your pelvic diaphragm. When you inhale, your belly expands, both diaphragms descend, so they go down. It makes sense, right? Your diaphragm goes down, that's why your belly can flare out. When you exhale, your belly pulls in, so both diaphragms ascend or rise up. So inhale, both hands go down, your belly expands. Exhale, both hands come up, your belly pulls in. Do it a few more times. Inhale, belly expands, both diaphragms descend. Exhale, belly pulls in, both diaphragms ascend. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Get this to click in your brain, and if it doesn't, just pause the video for a second and just do it a few more times, because again, this is like basic information that we should know. I am going to teach a myofascial release with the tuna balls today. If you have your own massage balls, just my advice: don't use lacrosse balls. They're a little bit too, they're very hard. So this is already a very sensitive release. So I would choose something that's a little bit more giving. Tennis balls are probably a little bit too big. So choose something that's kind of texture is appropriate and size is appropriate. We're going to be facing down, so I'm going to explain a little bit more before we actually face down, because then you won't see the balls. Your diaphragm hides underneath your rib cage. Your rib cage starts at the bottom of your sternum and then it opens up. We all have different sized torsos. So obviously if you put them really high up, you might not actually be under your rib cage, but you're going to be on bones, and we want to avoid that because you don't want to be on top of your rib cage. So when you lay down, you want to find that sweet spot for you where you can actually tuck both balls together, and then you can travel down. So again, you won't be seeing the balls for the video. They'll be under my belly, but I just want to guide you through a little bit of breathing and knowledge as we get into it. So I lay face down, I tuck one ball, like, okay, I'm not on my rib cage, I'm under, and then I place the second ball. Okay. And again, this is sensitive, so start gentle. And I like to just stay on my forearms for a moment, so kind of like a sphinx pose. And just take a moment to breathe and revisit that information. So inhale, your belly is going to expand. Both diaphragms are going to descend, they're going to lower. So naturally, if you are a really good belly breather, you're going to feel like your diaphragm is pushing, or let's not even say diaphragm, just feel like you're resisting the balls, like you're lifting away from the balls. And then exhale, you soften and you kind of let the balls travel in towards your rib cage. If this is not happening, again, you might be breathing a lot with these accessory muscles in your neck. So try to make the breath travel down to your belly. Try to inhale for 5 seconds and exhale for 6 or longer. Inhale for 5 and exhale for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, one of the potential effects of this release is to change that nervous system and to reset our nervous system. So let yourself soften, relax your shoulders, relax your head. As you keep breathing, maybe you can either widen your elbows, maybe you want to travel a little bit further down, and maybe you place your fists on top of each other, create a little pillow. Keep breathing and feeling into your body. We've probably already been here for a little bit more than 2 minutes. You want to do this for a minimum of 2 minutes. And then eventually, maybe you can lay a little bit further down. Some of you might feel comfortable to just place your head down. I'm staying here because I have my microphone. And then going back to this information that, again, just by breathing here, you're tapping into your digestive system, you're tapping into your circulatory system. This is also an indirect practice for your pelvic floor, and it has a huge effect in your posture. I'll slowly come out of it. Because I am instructing this, I will come up to a seat. But if you prefer to just remove the balls and lay on your belly, I would actually recommend that. And just take a moment to feel and to just witness your present moment. And if this is the first time that you did this and you're like, I don't know if I feel any different, again, trusting and repetition. Sometimes when we introduce something to our bodies, it takes a little bit for this mind and body connection to happen. And maybe for some of you, it just happened like this and you can feel it. So just notice how you feel, accepting all the feelings, all the thoughts. And my recommendation, again, is to keep this practice in your favorite toolbox. It's a good one.